Welcome today. I'm here to advocate for why drafting Zach Edey with a top 3 pick isn't as controversial as it might seem at first glance. Let's dive into the facts and data without downplaying his accomplishments. As it stands, finding 10 players in this draft class who outshine Edey in college is a tough task. You don't fluke your way into 25, 12, and 2 with 2 blocks and all-time great college stats, and Edey's numbers speak volumes. Now, on to the criticism. Some say he's too slow-footed to guard the perimeter, but when you really watch the tape, you'll see that's far from the truth. Edey is surprisingly mobile and willing to challenge on the perimeter. Yes, he might get caught off guard occasionally, but even defensive giants like Rudy and Marc Gasol have had their moments. You don't anchor a defense like he did if he were this slow-footed center. Fun fact, Edey only committed 2 fouls per game. Let's shift to his offense. Believe it or not, Edey is highly skilled. From his polished post, moves to his impeccable footwork and that unstoppable hook shot, he's elite in the paint. While being 7'4" and 300 pounds, Edey will be the biggest and strongest player in the league on day one. I personally don't think one center in the East can truly guard him, and don't overlook his playmaking abilities. If they send a hard double at him, he can pass it out of the post. He flashed a bit of that in college. It's an underrated part of his game waiting to be developed. Add in his elite screening and roll man skills, and you've got a player who creates space and opportunities for his teammates. Standing at 7'4" with a long wingspan, great hands, and a catch radius off the roll, imagine how deadly an IQ and Edey pick and roll would be. Don't just label him as just another traditional big man. He's elite, very versatile, and impactful. Data also backs that up. Now, let's talk about intangibles. Edey isn't just a skilled player. He's a dog competitor with a high motor. He doesn't stop going, and he is willing to put his body on the line diving on the court for loose balls and much more. He wants it more than anyone else on the court. He has a massive chip on his shoulder. He played almost every single minute of his last 2 games, and his stamina is insane. He's proven his doubters wrong time and time again, and he'll do the same in the NBA. Hopefully, on the Raptors. He has already shown he is potentially an all-time great center. Team success back that up, accolades back that up, advanced data backs that up. Only Edey has done things that haven't been done since some all-time great players. When you mention him, you have to mention him with the Tim Duncan, Shaq, Bill Walton, Michael Jordan, but people want to trick themselves into thinking that he is just some bench player. This is an easy layup. So why should the Raptors prioritize Edey? Because he's not just another prospect, he's a game changer. In an evolving league, Edey brings back dominance in the paint, reminiscent of past MVPs like Shaquille O'Neal and Tim Duncan. Even now, look at the last 3 MVPs. All in all, the league is going back to the big man. Sure, there are other prospects on the radar, but passing on Edey would be an all-time mistake. Everything points to him potentially being an MVP-caliber player. Unless you want to trick yourself into thinking that a player who has been playing basketball for 6 years, only in doing things that haven't been done since all-time greats, is a fluke. Imagine thinking prospects like Holland or Zach Edey come close to Edey. It's kind of a joke. He has the potential to lead the Raptors to the playoffs and become a dominant force in the East. Let's stop underestimating Edey and recognize his true potential. He's not just a bench player or a flash in the pan, he's a future star. Personally, I'd love to see the Raptors give him the keys. He is going to be better than Scottie and will lead us to the playoffs next year. It's a no-brainer pick anywhere in the top 5, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more draft analysis, including who the Raptors should target at 19. We've got some exciting prospects like Darren Holmes, who kind of reminds me of a better Naz Reid, or that efficient sniper Walter Clayton Jr.,